Last time on Mage the Ascension, a group of debonair and frequently in-debt mages found their way to each other, at last uniting our mages in one location. Chaos quickly followed, our differing party members having no idea what the hell was happening, all of that until mysterious Marvolo the Magnificent arrived. Thereafter, he promised an explanation. He opened the front door to the antique store to this strange purple velvet parlor, where he promised to at last explain everything.
Was that just a dream? Was that not real? Was that just in my head? That's just not how it feels. Was that really just a dream? No, that's not how it feels.
Cut to our cabal of mages. The door opens, a waft of lavender perfume and the smell of faintly burning incense comes at you all at once. Around you, beautiful velvet and satin curtains, and a large, intricate, and almost gothic-looking table with well-crafted individual chairs laid out before you all. A crystal ball sits in the middle, and of course, the largest chair Marvolo takes for himself. Well, my friends, feel free to make yourself comfortable. We can have refreshments or other assorted snacks. Does anyone have a particular flavor or taste on the mind or menu?
Do you have any white wines?
White wines? Well, that can be arranged quite quickly. Anyone else?
Water's fine.
Good, thank you.
You got something a little harder? I'm running on empty for about 48 hours now.
I suppose something like that could be arranged. Perhaps a Crown Royale. Let's see to it. He claps his fingers twice. I almost said snaps his fingers. Jesus. Claps his fingers doesn't make any sense. Snaps your fingers does make sense. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm having a stroke. He dies, and you all die too, and that's the end of the game.
God.
Like crab claws.
Yeah, he begins spy crabbing in front of you all. No, Marvolo quickly claps his hands twice, and these mysterious white gloves just emerge from behind these curtains. guards, and they come out bearing these trays, one of which has a decanter with a clear white wine, and the other is just a straight-up bottle of Crown Royale, both delivered to you alongside glasses. Water is, of course, quickly delivered to you in much of the same manner. Well, now that refreshments are procured, I'm sure you all have quite a few questions. I'm willing to take the most burning ones first before I go into my diatribe. I do want to make sure that you're paying attention. Try not to drink too much.
I have seen many people do many strange things. However, I can't entirely place what it is that you can do.
Well, I do the same thing that many of us do. I am, as you may know, a wizard. I hail from the houses of Hermes. I have perfected my own arcane arts over years and years of tutelage and study. And I have trained no small amount of apprentices in my tenureship.
Forgive my ignorance, but what is the House of Hermes?
An excellent question. The houses of Hermes, the Order of Hermes, are the foremost arcane institution that still exists in this world. They are the scions of the original rulers of, essentially, the planet. Many mystical traditions claim to be the eldest, but none are as accomplished as the many houses of Hermes.
Is it safe to assume that you've achieved tenure, then?
In a manner of speaking. Now, your interest in the Order of Hermes is most welcome, but you all have undoubtedly had quite a spectacular few days. I'm willing to hear any specifics you may have, any questions, concerns.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Marvolo.
Why, I'll hear it most happily.
Yeah, so how come throughout the entirety of the last, I want to say, month or so, what I've been seeing you guys down at the shelter at, why is it that you never really told me that I was actually working with magic?
Samson, for the longest time, you've been focusing your attention on sports and athleticism, and that makes you an excellent recruitment target in the House Flambeau. But your myopy, your stubbornness, I sense that forestalled your awakening. And as such, you couldn't be made privy to our deeper secrets.
Uh-huh. What? So you're thinking that if I've suddenly figured out that magic exists, that I'm gonna suddenly drop everything and throw my lot in with the first person that offers me, aside from you?
Actually, it's the fear that you wouldn't that kept us closed off. There's a war going on.
Uh-huh. Care to elaborate on that one?
Oh, happily. In fact, that's half the reason why I've been able to corral all of you, because as young mages you deserve to know of this, and if left to your own devices, no doubt you will be swept about by the first enterprising individual to come along. No, far better it be someone more responsible, like me, old sport. I'd like to paint you all now a story. Long ago in the distant past, magic floated freely throughout the societies of Earth. Wise wizard kings would advise the champions and monarchs of their time. The dragons could roam the mountain tops. Satyrs could be found within the woods. And the world was a world of wonder and joy. Until there was a great change. A series of mages obsessed with control at the time called themselves the Order of Reason. They brought this reason by cannonade, by musket shot, by the sword. They brought war to the mystic world. This Order of Reason, as they call it, now known as a technocratic union, set about seeking abject control over the people of Earth, over the human beings, the mortals, the sleepers. They call them the masses these days.
Is it safe to assume that this technocracy has been a homogenizing force?
Oh, indeed. You might be aware of some disparate aspects of the Technocratic Union. The New World Order leads them. And they, with their 4 other conventions and their countless contrasting organizations, will not rest until magic has been completely stamped out from the world. In its place, enlightened science. They seek to make a utopia, but in truth, they are making a tyranny.
So it's true. The NWO, it's all real.
Oh, yes, indeed.
I knew it. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. The aliens, it's all real.
No, I'm sorry. Aliens aren't real.
What?
Man, what the fuck are you talking about? The NWO's are best an organization.
Wait. Hold on. I'm just trying to get a beat on what exactly is going on here, because you're really the only person that's approached us about any of this crazy magic bullshit that's happening. I mean, how do we know you have the full story, or that you're telling us the full story?
Well, in time, you'll have plenty of chances to discover it for yourself. In the interim, I just ask that you trust me. After all, I could be lying to you, and you could at some point come around and attempt to undo the work I've done here. But for now, you can at least trust that my main concern is ensuring you are not abducted by this union. As for if you can trust my story, there are 9 mystic traditions within our organization. If you'd like, you can seek out our peers and see what they have to say.
Traditions?
What are these?
Well, I could explain each of them to you, and I will, summarily in quick order, but it's best that you hear from themselves what exactly they represent. After all, not all of us can become wizards. Chances are not all of you have the capacity.
Jesus, this is a lot. I guess... How many other people here in fucking Norfolk know what's going on with all of this? I mean, is it normal for 4 people to, what did you call it, awaken all at the same time?
No, it's not.
Oh. Is that a problem?
Perhaps for you.
Shit.
Here's the situation, and I will explain the different traditions shortly. You see, when a mage casts magic, unless you are slavishly devoted to the paradigm of consensus as our friends in the Technocratic Union, you will have to be abutting against reality as it is perceived by the vast majority of human beings. And as you may be able to attest, up until a few days ago, I would wager that the thought that magic could exist was about as alien a thought to you as the seas being made out of ice cream.
More or less. I did have a... My grandma was into all the, like witchy stuff, but I kind of thought it was more superstition than kind of a hard practice.
Precisely. Most people, for instance, in the United States are Christian. But if you were to suddenly have the second coming of Christ occur in the middle of downtown Manhattan, I guarantee you that even these Christian people would be surprised and agog. It would change their lives. To that end, all magic must occur against or alongside this consensual reality state. That means that when you break that consensual reality state, there are consequences. The most benign of which are that if you don't cover your tracks, anyone looking for magic can find you. And when you awaken, perhaps you all would have recognized this. You have a brief spark where you have all of the powers of the most enlightened and potent of mages at your disposal. The full breadth of your potential in that instant is available at your fingertips. And if you were fortunate, perhaps you felt it. The issue is that when that occurs, it's a bit like setting off a bomb in a building. Anyone passing by can see the smoke.
Uh-huh. And who is exactly ratting on people would cast magic out in the open? Someone's gotta do that, right? Or is you telling me reality itself is a cop?
Reality itself can be a cop, but many cops are under the thrall of the Technocratic Union.
What of magical objects, though? You talk about there being a consensus reality and it not being able to exist alongside such alterations. But are there not magical objects? How is this rectified?
That's an excellent question, my boy. You see, magical objects are, in some ways, far less able to be ruined by paradox. I realize I hadn't explained that yet, but bear with me. When you cast magic in a place that is perhaps a bit too aligned with the natural world, it is referred to by the Order as vulgar magic. This vulgar magic rebels against the assumptions of the world around you, and when it does, it accrues a force known as paradox. Paradox is reality attempting to correct your permutation. Sometimes it manifests in ill fortune, other times in far more dramatic means. In all cases, it makes your lives more difficult, and in the worst case, can completely ruin you. Magical objects are also subject to paradox, but they are, depending on their nature, more able to pass underneath the yoke of it. After all, an ancient tablet could, to a sleeper, simply be an old antique. Only when its power is used, ideally in a spot that is aligned with its nature, would it be able to be used safely. But many of our friends in the Society of Ether are capable of making large mechanical monstrosities that are subject to their own forms of awakened might.
But wait, so if magical objects are sort of conditionally active, well, what about things that aren't supposed to exist? Bill, you saw an alien, right? We saw spiders in the internet. I saw a fucking vampire, and none of that spontaneously exploded because people don't believe in vampires or falling into the internet or aliens.
Yeah. You mean to tell me that watching a little gray man shoot lightning out of his fingers or turn my friend into a tesseract and explode, you mean that's not against the convention? That's just the world as it is? Flying saucers? Monkeys?
Well, hold on a moment. Monkeys do exist, Bill.
Okay, but yes, monkeys do exist, but not that one. That one's a bit different.
Well, I can't speak to all the experiences that you had. Some supernatural beings are less subject to the realm of consensus. We as mages are. Other forces, such as dragons, are.
Dragons?
The fucking dragons are real, but not aliens? What the fuck?
Well, dragons are real, but they can't exist on this planet for very long.
Oh, good God.
They have been one of the first casualties of the Technocratic Union's advancing paradigm. But other creatures, such as vampires or even werewolves, they are able to maintain their existence irrespective of the rules of paradox, and this is because their potential is linear. Us as mages, we have the capacity to make virtually anything you can dream of possible. Our powers, unlike those of the vampire, they are uncapped. We have limitless potential, and that threatens reality. As such, reality seeks to course correct for us. As for vampires, they follow very particular rules. They cannot come out when the sun rises. They must feed on the blood of others. Their mechanics are grounded in a different sort of understanding. As for the true nature of the difference between them and us, that's an academic understanding, my boy. That is something for the scholars. I myself do not specialize in that particular differentiation.
Woof.
I have a hypothetical question for you.
Very good.
You mentioned that the ability to change reality is dependent upon consensus reality. If it were possible to alter people's understanding and perception of the world, could that consensus be changed to allow this magic to become the consensus?
You are an intelligent boy, Parker, because that is exactly how this war I had discussed is waged. You see, the Technocratic Union has a stranglehold over reality as it exists, but if it were in true victory, our world would be even more dire and dystopian than it already is. And we would also have far nicer cars. No. You see, the war for consensual reality, that is what we call the Ascension War. It is a conflict between ourselves, the Technocratic Union, and several others, for the soul of humanity, for the custodianship to allow universal ascension, to hopefully one day make every man and woman that walks the face of the earth awakened in their own right, to truly realize the potential of mankind. And in order to fight that battle, the sleepers must be swayed. They must believe the impossible is possible. Even the Technocratic Union attempts this.
With all due respect, based on the way you've been describing it, it kind of sounds like you guys are losing.
Some believe this, and I won't lie to you. The power and might of the technocracy has become unfathomable. They are a juggernaut, well articulated, well directed. It is true. We are on the downslide of the Ascension War. But we have not lost. Oh no. Oh no. For as long as wonder exists, we cannot have lost. And so we fight.
Okay, so you're on the losing side of things and you want us on your side.
Well, of course.
I don't know if it's a losing battle or not, but we're definitely being drafted on the back foot just because... What? Accident? Coincidence?
If he wanted us to simply join him, I doubt that he would be presenting his side in such dire terms.
Oh, that is true. Some of the less reputable members of my order would have you believe... Hell, not even the traditions exist. They might only tell you of the Order of Hermes. I recognize that you're all young people with limitless potential. But like it or not, that very same potential means that at some point you will have to pick a side. You will have to find where in this struggle you fall under. And I believe it is in your best interest to find that side within the 9 traditions. You see, by having the ability to affect reality as we mages do, inevitably, how you choose to use it will define your tenure as a mage. And it is a poor mage that hides in their corner, in their cave, or in their tower, and nary expects to affect the outside world. I believe that you have an obligation to use your might to benefit the world.
A reasonable offer. However, there is the immediate concern that we all have only awoken and you found us almost immediately. How much longer until someone from the technocracy finds us as well? And how will they feel that you have visited us first?
Oh, chances are the Technocratic Union is already searching for you. It's certainly searching for you, Bill. I had to pull quite a few strings to ensure that they didn't find you.
I was surprised they didn't.
Oof. So that was what you were talking about?
Yeah, They pulled up to my apartment. They probably would have nabbed me if I'd stayed around just a few seconds longer.
And for that, you have partially me to thank. I have some expertise in the entropic sphere. I was able to pull the strings to ensure that fate would have us all meet. If you've experienced any extraordinary coincidences, if you've found yourself suddenly here without explanation, chances are it has something to do with the strings of fate I have plucked to keep you safe.
Is that how you managed to fix the store so quickly?
No, that was a different sphere entirely. That was my powers of matter.
You keep mentioning spheres. You've mentioned the 9. I understand that it would be best to hear the description from each of them, however, a rudimentary understanding would help in knowing which direction to go first at the very least.
Hold that thought point, Dexter. So, before you get into talking a whole bunch of shit about magical spheres and other kinds of crap like that, why don't you explain to me how the hell I pitched a ball to someone, it slammed into his chest and ruined my goddamn college career?
Is basketball one of the spheres?
No, basketball is not one of the spheres.
A basketball is a
It's
sphere, though.
isn't it?
It is a sphere.
Shut your yaps.
It's like I've told you. You awoke during your basketball game. You caused the sphere to transmute. More than likely, that speaks to some affinity of yours. You may have some power over the inanimate objects that make up creation. You may be a potential alchemist at some point down the line. As for how it manifested, you must have felt some extreme pressure or perhaps an exceptionally strong emotion. I really can't say how or why or what happened to you, but it was your awakened magic choosing to reveal itself at that time. Have you not been visited by your avatar?
I don't even know what the hell that is, but you mean to sit there in your big fancy damn chair and you mean to tell me to my fucking face that not only was me throwing that out there and getting that kid a fucking pirate's dream, and then getting kicked out of college so I could now pursue this business with you. And not even with you. I had to go to Winnie to hear it firsthand, and I had to deck some punk in the chin to figure that out. You mean to tell me that you didn't plan that? That just happened to be how it worked out? You mean for me to buy that?
Samson, if I could plan out your life, I wouldn't have had you ruin your basketball career yesterday. I would have ruined it 3 months ago.
Ugh.
No, I didn't plan it. In fact, I was beginning to lose some hope in you, dear boy. You took quite a while to bloom, despite my ministrations. Fortunately, it seems like that wasn't an issue. As to why all 4 of you awakened so close together, that's a mystery I have yet to solve. But it is unusual.
Apologies for taking a step back, but Avatar, is that the spirit that I spoke to?
Ah, it's a spirit to you, is it? Yes, indeed. Each mage has a guardian of sorts, something called an avatar. This avatar is the embodiment of your own awakened potential. No doubt you've all had experience with some strange entity or event or even a theme. It could be as subtle as a color in some magi. This will be your guide through your own journeys as mages. You will have a mentor, of course, and that will be there to service you on the material plane. But your own enlightened journey, that is for you and the Avatar. It is a part of you, but also not. Some theorize they could be the spirits of former mages. Some believe they are carried with your soul throughout every reincarnation. The truth remains a mystery. But they're your friends, believe it or not.
To think that I'm friends with Sasquatch. I never even knew it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, okay. So you saw a Sasquatch. You saw a spirit. I saw a silhouette in a window. Either that or as the vampire, but I don't think that he was really a part of that.
Vampire, eh? Well, that's unfortunate.
Do you know who that is? Or what their deal is?
I'm not familiar with very many vampires, I hate to say. I'm more familiar with the destruction of vampires than the introduction of them.
Fair enough. And
What do these avatars want?
They want you to realize your potential. They want you to gain a greater understanding of the world, and ultimately they want you to ascend.
You've mentioned Ascension multiple times. What is it precisely?
Now that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What is Ascension? If I had a succinct answer for you, I fear I wouldn't be trundling about in Norfolk, Virginia, dear boy. To attempt to answer your question, though, Ascension is essentially the end point of a mage, of all magi. As awakened magi, all of you have become aware of truths that you might have otherwise discounted. You have come to know power beyond your wildest dreams. You have transcended the world of sleepers, what you were prior to your awakening. Now you have the means to seize your true potential. The ultimate conclusion of that journey is, in effect, a second awakening. Once you have reached the zenith, Ascension is all that remains. To move beyond this realm, to, well, we don't quite know. Divinity? Utopia? A higher layer of existence? Only the Ascended know for sure. The path to Ascension is not set, nor are its outcomes fully understood. But your avatars, the manifestation of your magic, they will drive you ever on that path, forward towards Ascension. Some stall on the path, some even reject it entirely. But to ascend is undoubtedly a wondrous and glorious thing. Perhaps you will understand in time. Perhaps I will as well.
Alright. So, let's get back to the 9, what'd you call them, spheres? The 9 traditions? The 9 magic doodads?
Yes, allow me to explain. There are indeed 9 widely accepted spheres of magic. And within the organization I represent, the Council of 9 Mystic Traditions, each of these traditions represent a particular sphere. To go into too much detail would be far too overwhelming for you at present, yet I feel I must furnish you with at least the basics. Should any seem like kindred spirits, I would encourage you to seek them out and learn from them. All traditions within our ranks are hallowed, noble, and just. Well, most of them anyway. I begin now with my tradition, the Order of Hermes. Greatest and first among the traditions, it was the Order of Hermes that first proposed the Council of 9, and it is we who have served as its oft unofficial leaders. Masters of high ritual magic, we of the Order follow in the example of Hermes Trismegistus and the will-workers of yore. We are extremely disciplined, hierarchical, and exact in our pursuit of knowledge. Though we are divided internally into a myriad of houses, each of those houses produces wizards par excellence, for we seek nothing less than the perfection of the self and the tempering of the mortal to divine. But I get ahead of myself. Think of, let's say, robes and wizard hats. That should suit the contemporary vision well enough.
God, you're the Merlins. Sorry.
Indeed. Merlin, Grandolph, Dumbledore.
Don't tell me those guys are actually real.
Of course they aren't. Only Merlin is real.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, it should also be noted that we represent the mightiest of the spheres. That of forces, the sphere of elements. Known to our order as the Ars Essentia, it is without equal in matters of combat. To call down lightning, to bend gravity to thy will, to invoke mighty fireballs, or shatter raging storms with a gesture. That is the power of forces. That is the power of Hermes.
Gotta say, don't toot your horn too hard, pal.
Next, the Akashic Brotherhood, or Akashian. The ill-educated among the traditions might call them the Kung Fu guys. Whilst technically accurate for their practice of Do, a supreme martial art known only to their ranks, it's a gross oversimplification. The Akashic Brotherhood are as wise as they are fearsome, and not every brother is of pugilistic persuasion. They hold the seat of mind on the council, the sphere of thoughts and cognition that we Hermetics know as the Ars Mentis. With mind, one might bend thoughts, shatter wills, and enhance one's own mind to lengths otherwise unimaginable. It is thought through deep meditation the Akashics in some way can interface with their namesake, the Akashic Records.
The Akashic Records are real.
So I'm told. I was once led to believe that it was a means by which one could gauge and understand the impressions and thoughts of each living being on the Tellurian. Forgive the jargon. Creation. The Earth, essentially. But I'd hate to spew misinformation on the subject, so I'll cease my prattling there. Instead, I shall go to our next tradition, the Celestial Chorus. These are Christian mages. A quaint concept, I know, but perhaps it'd be more apt to call them monotheists rather than Christians. The chorus, you see, are an amalgamation of multiple denominations and religions. And while these groups aren't famous for their friendship in the world of sleepers, here they are united by their belief that magic flows not from the self, but from a divine source. A source they've tenuously agreed to refer to as the One. They hold the seat of prime, the Ars Potentiae, the very power of quintessence. Many traditions have differing names and concepts of the substance. Mana, Ki, to name but a few. But prime is the capacity to mold the underlying energies of creation to one's will. It is a subtle sphere. But without it, one could not conjure a fireball from the air, nor enchant a sword or spear. One could not draw power from a nexus of magic, or unbind the spells of another mage. All mages are better served with knowledge of prime, and there are few better places to learn than from a chorister. Save for, perhaps, a hermetic. And now I shall discuss the cult of ecstasy. Hedonists, artists, masters of the realms of sensation. These individuals are an eclectic lot, often lacking in discipline and good manners, but don't be fooled by their affect. The ecstatics produce some of the most formidable sages and seers within the 9 traditions. Their sphere, time, is oft used to perceive the past, the future, and more formidably, control the ebb and flow of causality itself. Utilizing the Ars Temporis, one can halt time entirely, speed oneself to inhuman lengths, even travel between past and future. Though do be warned, young Magi, few survive a trip to the past, and fewer still emerge from the future unscathed in the rare moments they emerge at all. Now, on to the Dream Speakers, perhaps the most diverse tradition of all. Composed of soothsayers, folk magicians, and shamans from cultures the world over, the Dream Speakers are far less unified than even the Celestial Choir. Yet few can traverse the umbral realms with such alacrity. I see your confusion. Umbral realms. Those are spirit worlds. The Dream Speakers hold the seat of spirit, and utilizing their arts can not only form compacts with the essential beings that lie within, but even step sideways to their mysterious domains. Heavens, hells, and purgatories betwixt, these are the domain of the Dream Speaker. Bill, you may be surprised to hear that your outer space is merely an extension of the Umbra, and your aliens are but the spirits that reside in it.
The fuck? There's ghosts in space?
There's ghosts in space? There's in hell is real?
Well, I suppose in a manner of speaking. To my understanding, there are manifold hells that some poor souls find themselves trapped in. Usually, though, they're of their own subconscious making.
There's multiple ones?
Was Hellraiser a documentary?
You're gonna give the guy an aneurysm. Slow it down.
There are places darker, more dangerous than any hell. I shan't mention them here. Let us move on. And on the subject of darkness and death, who better to cover than the Euthanatoi? A grim and macabre sort, the Euthanators concern themselves first and foremost with the custodianship of the Wheel of Fate. Specifically, those who endure in this world, shall we say, past their time. Those souls that stagnate, that seek to avert death or otherwise pollute the world, as they call it. The Euthanatos seek to bring an end to them and return them to the cycle of reincarnation. They are dangerous, unpredictable, and I can't recommend associating with them for very long. Their chosen seat is entropy, a suitably dreary element. Theirs is the magic of decay and death, but also luck and probability. Use of the Ars Fortunae allows one to shear away possibilities until only one remains. Thus, 1 in a million becomes commonplace around an entropy master. Still, they must take heed not to acquire too much of death's resonance. Jaw, it is called, and it has been the ruin of more than a few great magi.
Good to know that we're actually bumping shoulders with an actual death cult. That's good. Yeah.
You'll come to find, Samson, that there are few things that cults can't emerge about. On to brighter matters. The Society of Ether are technomancers and inventors who, on the whole, tend to weave an eccentric character. You see, as the Technocratic Union has enforced the paradigm of scientific thought, they have excised certain parts of it in the search for control. The Etherites are mainly made up of those thoughts that have been deemed too fantastical for the Union's ruthless and iron-fisted regime. From roboticists to atomic engineers to aeronauts that glide through the sky in extraordinary craft, these brave souls take the science of our oppressors and turn it into something wondrous and grand. Their seat of the traditions is matter, the raw stuff of creation. Often considered a more boorish speciality among magi, matter is not to be underestimated. With it, one can transmute lead to gold, water to wine, and even puppeteer the dead. After all, that without life is but inert matter. And on the subject of life, I suppose I might as well mention them. The Verbena claim to be the oldest tradition. They are not alone in this claim. Don't listen to those upstarts blindly. At any rate, those druids of the Verbena are practitioners of ancient witchcraft and run the gamut from harmless New Agers to fanatic primitivists. The Verbena embrace nature in all its forms and are oft aligned against the concept of civilization itself. Some are kind and dependable, joyous, harmonious, and at times even delightful. Others are decidedly less pleasant, extolling the virtuous cruelty of Mother Earth and celebrating only that which is fit enough to survive. Their sphere of life is well suited to their duality. The Ars Vitae might heal even the most dire of wounds. It can reshape one's body to be stronger, more agile, even to assume an animalistic or inhuman form. One might polymorph a dreaded foe into a harmless sheep, or spontaneously summon forth a legion of crabs from pure ephemera. That last one happened to me once. It really did. No one believes me, but it's true. Legions of crabs. Goodness, I was nursing my poor fingers for a week afterwards. Lastly, and most recent to join our council, are the virtual adepts. Like the Etherites, they fled the shadow of the technocracy when the desire for control outpaced the growth of their science. But unlike the Etherites, the adepts are decidedly modern. They specialize in the interwebs, as it's called. Perhaps you're familiar? The digital age, mass connectivity, etc., etc. Usually, they're punkish, rude, and quite the rabble, if I'm being honest. Yet, It's important to keep one's pulse on the times, and few among our organization know this as much as those miscreant hacker cabals. Their sphere of correspondence reflects this notion, that of space, distance, and the interconnectedness of all things. Should one require a portal open, a spell cast over a large distance, or even to appear in many places at once, they must acquire a deep understanding of the Ars Conjunctionis. It was this sphere I used to bring you all here, in fact.
Is it safe to assume that correspondence would allow someone to move not just from physical space to physical space, but to another realm as well?
I've heard tell that the adepts utilize their chosen sphere to access the so-called virtual web, but for the most part, if you seek to travel betwixt dimensions, you really should seek out the use of the spirit sphere. Of course, a bit of both never hurt anyone, provided you take care not to grow too cavalier with the Tellurian's boundaries.
Messing with them boundaries sounds like a good way to get yourself sent to one of those hells you were talking about.
Very well said, Samson. We'll make a hermetic of you yet.
So, when we fell through the computer, that was correspondence?
As I said, it's quite possible. Or it could have been a matter of you stepping sideways. I'd explain the particulars of traversing the gauntlet, but I feel that's a buzzword too far, and a lecture for another day.
I'm gonna look over at the monkey. Are you a virtual adept?
He looks up at you, monkey eyes, and then he reaches for the decanter of white wine while looking at you. And he takes it slowly. And then he just starts drinking it.
Is that animal cruelty? Is he allowed to do that?
I mean, he can use a gun. I think he can do whatever he wants.
Just as long as he's not doing both at the same time.
Just as long as he's not driving after this.
No, he doesn't drive. I do.
Yeah, you could have fucking fooled me.
Let me just really quickly roll monkey stamina.
Oh no! Drunk monkey! Whoa, the monkey rolled 3 10s? He can hold his liquor, good god.
The monkey got a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, thanks to our popping dice mechanic. So the monkey is good. Monkey's barely even buzzed.
The guy's got fucking liver of depleted uranium. Terrific.
As this monkey is drinking the white wine that I was rather enjoying, Parker will look over at Samson. There are many artifacts that I suspect would be related to that sphere. I'm imagining that the spirit gates in Japan would be an example.
I can't help but feel you'd need to go to Japan and see for yourself on that. Any magic that transports you physically tends to rely on a healthy dose of correspondence there. Trains, for instance, are an excellent example of correspondence magic in action.
Really?
Have you heard of them? They tend to go chugga chugga, occasionally choo choo.
So, correspondence magic is a train.
Marvolo reaches down, and he grabs the crystal ball, and he holds it in his hand.
Samson, why don't you try and take this from me?
Alright. He will attempt to do so.
You're not that far from Marvolo. You should be able to very easily take it. But as you do, it just gets distant from you. It's like the room begins moving backwards, receding from your touch as more and more space is created between you and it, despite the confines of the room not quite changing. You just feel distant and distant and distant, and when you finally reach out at your full extent, the effect ends and you have it in your hand.
He immediately experiences vertigo and falls onto the table. Ugh! The fuck?
As spectators, how do we experience this?
How does that look to them?
You see the room extend backwards, like getting longer and longer, like more of it is just being created and filtering out. The table gets longer and longer. The space between them just gets farther and further, and then you blink and then it's back to normal.
Oh god, it's Sam Raimi magic.
I'm just imagining the monkey at one end of the table just steadily disappearing to the vanishing point at the back of the room. Like, oh, goodbye.
All right. This is a hell of a lot of information. Thanks for at least being forthcoming with it. How many people like you, like us, I guess, are in Norfolk?
It has more than a few mages around, I think, because it is a center of power.
You're telling me there's a seat of magical power in fucking Norfolk?
You know, Samson, there is the headquarters of NATO in the North American continent right next door. And you're surprised that the organization, whose main foundation is terrestrial power, may have some seat of might there?
You're making it sound like the military itself is small pickings compared to them.
Oh, please don't be so gauche. There's not enough of us to be able to snap our fingers and take over the world or some such. No, the Technocratic Union, it should be mentioned, is not in control of every government, every facility, everything on the planet. But they very frequently co-opt, advise, and manipulate these systems of power to their own ends.
When we leave here, now armed with this information, are they going to immediately be coming for us? And if that's the case, what do we do?
That's an excellent question. The Technocratic Union is no doubt attempting to investigate what exactly is going on with their recent awakenings. But I also have it on good authority that events in the Great Dismal Swamp have led them to counteract very quickly a security breach of some sort. It may be your aliens build. Now, as for you, though, it is true that once you leave here, any who can spy magic will at least investigate the points in which you awakened, and should they do it with any seriousness, finding you in your homes should be relatively trivial. To that end, I would open my own home to you all. Unfortunately, it too has recently been attacked by a different force. Not the Technocratic Union, but another combatant in the Ascension War.
Whom?
Yeah, about that. You wanna enlighten me to who the hell summoned the meat beast in your basement?
I would love to give you the individual identity. If I knew it, I assure you, this individual would no longer exist. But they call themselves the Nefandi. Have you heard yourself tale of dark magic, of corrupted souls, of power forbidden, lest it taint the mind, the body, the soul?
Yeah, it's pretty typical horror movie fare. Your, Necronomicon kind of shit.
It exists.
Oh. Was Evil Dead a documentary?
Evil Dead was not a documentary, but Nefandi exist. This is no laughing matter.
Okay.
Nefandi are those of us who have forsaken the path of ascension. And hear me well, for if you hear nothing else, you must hear this. They are the one foe that even the traditions join hands with the technocracy to face. They are perilous. They are devils. They are vile without mention. And should they get their hands on you, you should take your own life before joining them.
Ugh.
So severe will be the cost to your soul. Nefandi are mages who no longer believe in ascension, they believe in dissension. Their goal, if you could call it that, would be nonetheless the complete and abject torment of every soul on Earth in perpetuity, including themselves. They have been faced against their darkest reflection, the aspects of themselves that bring them revulsion and vileness. They have faced this dark reflection, and they have knelt before it and called it God. They are, and I say this without candor, the most vile, pestilential, awful breed of thing to exist on this earth. They are the ones that attacked us.
It's like they became their own evil twin. I'm getting that.
In a manner of speaking, the less known about the precise nature of the Nefandi, the better. But you must always be watchful.
They will attempt to lead you to their centers of power, a place they call a call. And once inside, they will subject you to horrors beyond your comprehension. And should you fall, no matter the man you were before, no matter your moral values, no matter who you are, you will be possessed of this ultimate evil, and it will dominate you. The only cure is destruction of the soul. But no, Nefandi can be quite nefarious. The wisest among them can disguise themselves as otherwise reputable members of the community, only to reveal their true colors when they have you in their clutches. That said, very rarely will you encounter one. But they too spy the awakened signatures. It is more than likely that they too will be curious as to if you are amenable to them.
Well, one way or the other, perhaps our more immediate concern is the technocracy, because once they're finished with whatever was bothering them, they're going to come for us next.
Exactly. To that end, I can arrange lodgings. It won't be with me, but it will be with someone who owes me a considerable debt. This lodging, I would insist, all of you attend to. As for your families, I can offer them what protection I may, but it is best that you remain separate from them.
Can they stay where they are?
Probably. I will do what I can, again, to ensure that the worst does not befall them. I will warn all of you, though, that you are now living a new life. And very rarely can a mage live in both the mortal world and the mystic world.
Try to stop me. There's too much cool shit in the mortal world, even if there is all this stupid magic.
Well, I wish you abject luck, Samson. And I would, at last, offer all of you a final boon. Samson, I have begun this process a long time ago, and it seems as if you and I are going to remain at some form of impasse. But nevertheless, it is my duty as a scion of the Order of Hermes to offer you an apprenticeship within the House Flambeau. Do you accept?
You know what? Sure. Guess I got as far as I can with basketball. I'll see where I can go with this.
Most excellent. I'll begin your official instruction within the coming weeks. I need to make sure that what occurred at my compound does not occur again. As for the rest of you, I am more than happy to see to your own instruction, should you be interested. However, I am not willing to take on 4 apprentices at the same time. If you seek instruction with the Order of Hermes, I will happily lead you to other masters.
I actually got a quick question for you, Marvolo.
Of course. What can I help you with?
I was talking to Winnie about all the nonsense that happened, right? You know, I got to check out the basement, got to see the funny meat creature and the fucking mess it made, and she kind of sent me out this way, specifically the earshot, Patty. He points at Parker. Yeah, sorry, I was tricking you. I didn't want a bottle.
You're lost. They're nice bottles.
Yeah, I was supposed to be like waiting for you to show up because we're looking for. What was his name? Cyrus? Carlisle?
Yes, about that. We did have, on the same day that my compound was attacked, a fair-weather friend, an ally, went missing. Someone by the name of Cyrus Carling. Last I heard, Parker, they were going to your shop. Do you have any idea what happened to them, old sport?
I am so glad I have the poker face merit right now.
Just the internal screaming. His face is completely passive.
Oh, yeah. Like, my father said that we were going to have someone come in. He came in, but he left pretty quickly. We didn't quite have what he was looking for.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to ask you to roll me manipulation subterfuge.
Okay.
And poker face. Let's see what that does for you. -2 difficulty on your subterfuge roll.
Fuck yes.
So difficulty 6 becomes difficulty 4.
All right, 5d10. That's 4 manipulation and 1 to subterfuge.
Ooh, one success. He takes a look at you. Did he mention what object he was looking for?
He said he was looking for a particular grandfather clock. It hadn't come in yet, but it arrived shortly after.
Interesting. I would very much like to see this clock. He stands up, the door opens back. It's the front of the antique store. He gestures you all to abscond with him as he very briskly walks forward.
Samson takes the last slug of water and places the glass back down on the table before heading out. He's actually going to start dribbling his ball this time.
All right, so Parker, you watch as everyone very quickly enters out into your antique store.
Please be careful. The shop has already been smashed once today.
I got you. Got good control.
Parker, if you could show me where the grandfather clock is.
Of course. Parker, perfect poker face, leads Marvolo into the back, and he mentions to everyone else, feel free to stay out front here if you'd like. Please peruse the wares. I'll give you all a discount.
Have you got any, like, taxidermied animals? Like, vintage taxidermy? I've been looking everywhere.
Oh my god, we can't get them off our hands.
How many?
How many?
We'll talk about it when we get back.
Excellent.
Samson's going to follow Marvolo as well, since he got put on this little assignment as well.
Oh, Bill, are you and the monkey coming?
Yeah, Bill is just like, at this point, he's probably drank 2 glasses worth of Crown Royal. And he's just,
Roll me stamina.
absolutely.
Please, bot.
Oh, I hope so.
Nice!
You're good.
All right.
Don't even bother popping it. You're good. Fuck, you're good. You can hold your liquor.
It's booze.
Okay, that's fine. Cool. So, at this point, Bill is just muttering to himself, "The hell is real, space is fake. My friends are all dead, and I've got a talking monkey, and the New World Order is going to kill me."
Yeah, monkey's just holding your hand, like shaking his head, like ooh, 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 confirming everything you say as he walks forward.
Hell is real, space is fake.
As Parker is leading the three of them down, he takes a wide but non-suspicious berth around the bottomless crate that houses prized concrete statue. The grandfather clock is still uncovered.
It'll take like a few moments too long, but realizing she has been left alone in the front of the shop after being told the New World Order's after her ass, Sybil's gonna putter after the rest of the group.
Do you have,
Probably
like,
with like a taxidermied raccoon under one arm.
yeah, roll me 1d4.
Alright, 1d4.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
two.
you have 2 taxidermied animals. Figure out which ones they are.
Alright, I'm gonna have a raccoon under one arm, and then like, what's the biggest kind of spider?
Oh god,
Goliath bird-eating spider. There's
All
probably
right.
one at that time.
Yeah.
Or a huntsman.
Yeah, like a giant huntsman spider, like stuffed huntsman spider.
I know for a fact that sometimes arachnids like that will be placed in like clear polymer domes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah, I don't know if you can taxidermy a spider, but maybe you can. I don't fucking know.
I don't think you can taxidermy them, but like
You can,
basically
like, can't
you just
taxidermy
take
a
the
spider.
spider. You take the spider, you splay it out, and then you pour
Like resin,
You
yeah.
pour the plastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
the-
You
the
can do
clear
it with a
resin over it.
tarantula. They're sufficiently
I-
large. I'm saying, isn't the huntsman spider like localized mostly? Not localized, but like in like the Australia, just like in Australia. I thought that was a big thing.
Yeah, aren't they like actually harmless?
Which ones?
Yeah, they're
Huntsmans?
buddies.
They'll still,
Huntsman's
their
to my
venom
understanding.
could kill you, but it's not like Sydney funnelwebs. Those will kill you within like hours.
Yeah.
Wait, how did we
Well-
get here again?
Because bugs are fucking awesome, Earndil.
Well,
That's why.
Hunting spiders will often, unless they're a particularly aggressive species, like the boner spider, the banana spider,
Yeah.
the one that gives you boners till you die.
Oh my God.
That most hunting spiders like that, because their eyesight is so good, they're not very likely to accidentally attack you or bite you. That's why sometimes you see little like people will have jumping spiders on their arms and they won't bite, they're just buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, jumping spiders are great. They're just super docile.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm
No, you're good.
I'm doing the thing.
Oh no, I welcome the spider sunblock.
Oh my god, you're fucking the thing?
So, Marvolo walks up to the clock. He begins moving his finger throughout his curly mustache. And you said it was this clock, my boy, that he was looking for?
We had it ordered special for him.
Interesting. Did he ever mention why he wanted it?
No, he was cagey.
Interesting. I suppose that's in order. Maybe in time we'll find some use for it, or he'll reappear and he may purchase it again.
Would it not be a problem if some, perhaps, less than kind people came and discovered it?
Would you like it moved into your new abode?
That sounds prudent. This clock has something to do with my awakening.
Indeed. Well then, I think that it's a natural fit. We'll speak to the landlord, but I can't imagine they'll have much of a problem with it.
Landlord?
Well, yes. The abode that I'll be sending you to will be under the protection of another mage of the 9 traditions.
Alright, shit. Are we gonna have people to help us move? I have a lot of shit.
I'm certain we'll figure something out. Parker, I want you to go ahead and make me a very quick perception awareness.
I am very glad that I put points into that.
5 successes, very good. You notice something, and it's so minute. The box, it's slightly askew from when you last left it. Like it'd been jostled by something.
Would it be alright if I got a few affairs in order before the move happened?
Oh, of course. Do you need to get some of your things together down here?
Yes, please, and I'd also like a chance to talk with my father. I'm here because he's old and he needs help tending to the shop, and so I'd like to get things in order in that way.
Absolutely. The rest of you need similar accommodations.
Ain't got much, but I have to go talk with E before I go. My cousin, and I guess my mother, whatever the fuck. I don't have a whole lot.
Are we gonna be allowed to kind of leave the place freely? I've got a whole studio to tend to.
I can't imagine that you'll be under house arrest. It's not becoming of mages to never be allowed to leave. The important thing is that your trail from the awakening is given time to go cold. I'd be careful with your appearances. I wouldn't recommend dallying about your usual haunts.
Damn it, I've got shows coming up. How else am I gonna pay rent? How much does this new place cost?
I assure you, we will negotiate these things with the landlord. And you won't be divorced from your normal life for too long. In fact, I wouldn't imagine that'd be too much of an issue to coordinate with your fellows.
Listen, you've never met Pablo. The guy would be inconsolable if I just went cold for a week.
I'll have a vehicle come out to meet you later on in the evening. Whenabouts did you say it'd be a decent enough time?
Give me 3-4 hours?
Fine by me.
What about the, I've got the RV. I can't exactly hide that many places.
I'll make sure your RV is tended to well enough. I can have it protected, assuming that it's not already been compromised. Sybil, were there any considerations for you?
Probably need to get my computer and the contents of my current apartment. Do you got like a magic box that I can put all my crap in? I've got a lot of knickknacks, a lot of little things.
Magic is not a thing to be used so casually. Quite frankly, the displays I've already expended towards you all, that is sufficient enough for me for the day.
Oh, are you out of MP?
No, it doesn't work like that. As I've said, when you cast magic that is vulgar, there is a substantial paradox backlash, and the other evening I was involved in a life-or-death battle against a horde of gibbering undead.
Oh, that sounds a little paradoxical. I'll figure it out.
Very good. I'll certainly see you all off. Let's head on. And Marvolo will lead you outside to the front. An old-fashioned black Rolls-Royce pulls up.
Oh, this is why we don't have to pay rent.
The doors quickly open for all of you. I assume you three and the monkey will be entering?
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. In which case, we'll go to Parker, back down in the cellar.
The moment that he hears the front door shut, he turns his attention to the box. For a moment, Parker is going to consider. He places his hand upon the box, and much as he sensed the spirit the first time when inspecting the clock, he is going to sense for a spirit underneath the box again, almost afraid to look underneath it. Definitely afraid to look underneath it.
Go ahead and roll me Arate.
9.
You search for a soul beneath the box. You find none.
Immediately, he is going to pull the box up.
You look, and where once there was a statue literally taped and tapered to the ground by the stone itself, there is nothing. There is a disruption of the rock of the cellar, as if some large part of it just snapped off and disappeared. It looks like a pothole you might see on the road, where there once was Cyrus Carling. There now is not.
Parker turns on his heel and runs up the stairs, calling, "Dad!"
Yes, what is it? I heard
Parker runs up to him and immediately, grabs his shoulders and says, "Did you see anything? Did you see anyone come or go today?"
Well, I heard some sort of commotion downstairs, but when I came down, everything seemed fine.
Anything else?
There was a customer that was pacing about, seemed to be waiting to be helped. I assumed you were in the bathroom or some such, so I tended to them. They bought a little sphinx.
Okay. Sorry, Dad. Today's been a bit odd.
Yeah, what do you mean, Parker? You're acting quite strange, I must note.
I'll explain later, Dad. However, Dad?
Yes?
I need you to trust me. I'm going to be gone for a week. Some very concerning but potentially exciting things have happened. I can't explain all of them right now, but things are going to be okay.
Son, you always have my trust. But what is it? Why can't you tell me?
I'll hopefully be able to tell you soon. Just for now, if anyone asks where I am, just tell them that I am gone. That you aren't sure where I went.
What will I tell your mother?
I mean, you guys were fine when I was gone to college. This is like that.
You see, exciting opportunity. Very well, Parker. You know, if you're in any sort of trouble, you can always reach out. We'll always be able to help you.
I know, Dad.
Be careful, son. I'm excited for you, but you worry me at this, but you've always done right by us. We'll trust you.
Will you guys be okay while I'm gone?
Think nothing of it. A week, we can handle that. I mean, what if you were in the hospital and you broke your leg? We'd have to do the same thing. Trust me, we're fine.
Okay. I'll miss your eggs.
Well, they'll be waiting for you, so don't be too long. You've got a week before I get worried and interject myself.
Okay. If things get that bad, I'll be glad to have you interject. I need to pack.
Of course, son. Of course.
And some people will be by soon. They'll just be taking out the grandfather clock that we weren't able to sell the other day.
Oh, did you find a buyer? Is it going into storage?
In a sense.
Cut back to the mouse pad. Bill, you and Sybil have been let out right in front. You can see that the juggalos are still at it. They are having the time of their life. You fucking forgot about this?
The Dark Carnival does not end.
It's 6:30, you idiots! And these young little kids are having the LAN party of their dreams.
Oh my god, the Juggalos?
They're still going?
What
You know-
the fuck is happening here?
It's a dark carnival, brother.
Why do you have them on your property?
Well, it's not technically my property. We more just rent the back room for my art studio. Well, we can go around back without needing to interface.
As you say that, a hatchet just into the glass to the other side, and then you see a 12-year-old in full clown makeup grab it before running back into the darkness.
Who gave that child a hatchet? Is that real?
Do you vet these people?
Like I said, I do not own the place. The owner of the mousepad just kind of rented the back out to us.
Speaking of the back.
Yep.
Yeah, let's
Bill will move up to the side of the building, but he's going to be super tactical about it. Once he gets close to it, he's going to put his back to it, peek around the corner. He's going to look around the side of the building, try not to expose too much of himself, just to see if there's anybody waiting in the alley.
Go ahead and make a perception alertness. 3 successes. You're on the lookout for anything lying in wait, and you don't see anyone until, just with a glance, you notice a shape on the roof that quickly scoops down as you approach.
Bill will quickly duck back around the corner.
What happened?
There's somebody up above. There's somebody on the roof.
Did you get a look at them?
No, I didn't. They knew that I was looking at them because as soon as I laid eyes on them, they ducked out of sight.
Perception alertness for everybody.
Sure. 3, I think.
Great. Okay. You guys are doing just fine. You all are able to hear this. There's a sound like someone going, and then running on the other side of the mouse pad.
Samson is going to immediately sprint after them.
Samson's running after them. What are you two doing?
I'm gonna follow very quickly, just in case that's one of my weird artist friends about to get a basketball to the nose.
Yeah.
Everybody, why don't you go ahead and roll me Dex Athletics?
Do I have to?
You must.
Alright, I'm assuming difficulty 7 because I have no athletics.
Yes.
2 successes, I guess.
Damn. All right.
2 10s.
You sprint out, Samson, but our good friend Bill is naturally this paranoid. He and the monkey that is now strapped to his back are just running forward, having already anticipated this. Sybil, you're keeping astoundingly good pace, though of course you're exerting yourself far more. And you guys turn the corner and you're able to see a guy in a denim jacket wearing jeans running. It's a little bit distant, but if you guys kept up the chase, you might be able to catch up to him. Sybil, you see that it is not one of your freaks.
Oh, it's not one of my freaks. Alright, I'm gonna just kind of try to keep pace with everyone. I'm not particularly athletic, but I'd still like to see where this goes.
Let's all make a Dex Athletics. 1 success.
1 success.
1 success. I'm going to burn a willpower for a second success.
Oh boy.
Alright, there we go.
We don't pop on pops, right?
Well, you do. Hold on a second. What matters is not that you got more successes than God. You just had to beat 1 success.
Oh, good.
Samson and Sybil, you are rushing forward. Sybil, you're lagging behind a little bit, and you're running about on par. Samson, you have basketball as your favorite sport, and you are running faster than Chris Lightning. Before you know it, you're right up to him, and if you wanted to, you could fucking grab him.
I will happily lunge out and tackle this motherfucker.
Roll me Strength Athletics. Oh shit. You grab onto him, but he's just a little bit too slippery for you. You grab onto the back of his jean jacket, you rip it off, and as you do, he just bursts forward, trying to get away from you, and you're able to see that the palms of his hands, part of his arms, have this strange, discolored blue to them.
Hey, get back here, you punk!
Runs straight into traffic, and I'm going to roll something really quick for him. Yeah, and he is able to clear the traffic without being hit by any of the oncoming cars. He's on the other side of the street. Are you guys going to keep up the pursuit?
Samson is mercifully insensate to pain. He's rolling for it.
Okay, what about you guys?
I'm mostly gonna let Samson do the athletic stuff, but I want to at least stay nearby in case things get ugly.
You're gonna go to the crosswalk.
Yeah.
Speaker.
Yeah.
2 lanes or 4 lanes of traffic?
4 lanes of traffic.
I have a monkey on my back. I have momentum. Got a little meat under this pudgy exterior. With my newfound friend, I want to send him across the street in a combination move where he jumps off my hands and I pitch him.
You're going to fastball special, you're monkey.
That's
Yes.
really funny, and this would be a great way to lose your familiar. Let's do it.
I would like to burn a willpower because I have deceptive strength and I want to juice this.
Okay, I'm gonna say, give me strength. What would be a good skill to throw a monkey? I would say athletics.
Monkeys are heavy.
But he's working with me. We coordinate on these moves. You must understand.
You chuck your monkey with 3 successes, which sounds like a horrible euphemism for something. Samson, you're rushing through the 4 lanes of traffic?
If there's a car ahead of him, he's gonna jump onto the top of it and then spring off that as best he can to avoid being hit by it.
Okay.
So I can try to tilt that as basketball.
Maybe. We'll see. Go ahead and make me Dex Athletics difficulty 8.
Before I roll it, there we go. 1 willpower down, I'll take 1 success. And I got 2.
You rush forward, you're able to use your momentum to get through differing lanes of traffic. He, shockingly, rolled better than you. So you are not quite up to him, but you're just behind him. You're able to see him. It's at this point, the monkey is pitched forward over the traffic. And I would love for you, Hulky Bill, to make a grapple check with the monkey against this man. Strength Athletics.
Strength athletics. For the monkey or for myself?
For the monkey.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay, you watch Samson as this guy is running forward. He's sweating, he's looking around, and all of a sudden there's as this enormous shaped shadow encompasses over the scene, and you see an ape crash down on this guy, smash him into the dirt. He picks up his head and smashes it against the concrete. And I'm gonna roll just really quick. Our gentleman here is going to go ahead and take, 4 points of bludgeoning damage, which I will now have him try to soak. He is able to soak 2 points of it.
This man's out here rolling shit tons of 10s.
Now get this fucking monkey off of it! What the hell is going on? Ow! Ow! Ow!
The fuck you running for?
Other people in the street are starting to turn and look at you. One person drops their bag and starts running off. People are looking around saying,
It's okay. It's performance art. This is a performance. Yay!
You're shouting this from across the 4 lanes of traffic.
Well, we did just leave my weird art studio. We're not exactly famous, but we are definitely here. And I would like to essentially just try to assuage everybody's fears and pump it up with a
manipulation,
bit of mind.
subterfuge, please.
coming at you live from across the 4-lane
This
road.
is rather
Could
difficult to believe, so I'm gonna say difficulty 7.
Could I instead convince you of, oh god, is performance not in Mage? Performance is not
No,
in Mage.
yeah.
Wrong game.
If you had fame, I would accept fame.
I have fame 1.
If you'd like to use Fame 1, this is right by your studio. Normally I would have you roll that as its own separate thing. In this case, I will allow you to add it as 1 additional dice. And I'll reduce your difficulty back. Actually, no, you're not going to get an additional dice, but I'll bump your difficulty down to difficulty 6. Because you're famous in this area, if nowhere else.
All right, I do not have subterfuge, so that probably bumps it right back up
No,
to 7.
I'll put you at 6 flat because I'm such a nice guy.
You're so kind, so niceies. If it's possible, I would like to likewise, as I do have a mind affinity, I would like to use Arate to perhaps add dice or reduce my difficulty further.
How would you do that?
Mostly through voice and vocalizations are one of my instruments, so just sort of trying to reach out in a tone that makes me believable and trustworthy, one that resonates with the frequency of the minds in this area.
Well, you've got some experience working crowds, so sure,
Exactly.
I'll allow you to roll Arate and reduce your difficulty further.
Yeah, I'll drop a point of quintessence on this.
So difficulty 5 now. You're less impressing upon others and more finding your own confidence, finding the tenor and the way in which you speak to attract a crowd.
And in that case, I'm going to drop a willpower on this manipulation roll because I don't have a ton of dice in there.
Makes sense.
All right.
Well, you get one success.
That would be one success.
One success. And you also stop yourself from botching thanks to all of your effort. So that was a good call, spending all those resources.
Yeah, wow.
You begin speaking, and the people in the crowd don't really seem to fully believe you at first, but then you find the tone that you need.
Oh, I think I saw one of these shows. I think I know this
Yes!
one. Yeah.
This piece is entitled The Flight of Man.
Get me the hell out of here! They're gonna kill me! They're gonna kill me! They're gonna
Yay!
Wow, he's so good! And someone hands you a $5 bill.
Oh, thank you. I pocket that immediately.
All right, so you have this guy restrained. There's an ape on the back. There's a basketball player behind the ape. There's a man on the floor. There's $5 in your pocket. Bill is there somehow. What's the plan?
Bill teleport.
And also, Bill was there.
Can I try to intimidate this fellow at all?
Such things are possible. I would never stop you.
He's gonna tower over him, and he's going to make sure that he sees him, because remember, Samson is quite tall. Stop squirming.
I'd go ahead and roll then appearance intimidation.
Appearance, intimidation.
Yeah, you're not really using your words. You're more trying to use your physical presence.
Oh, great. That's not very good.
Shut up! You don't understand anything! You're a moron! You think you can boss me around? You think you can kill me? I'd like to see you try, idiot!
Okay, I'm gonna throw my basketball at him.
You hit him in the head.
Fuck! Asshole!
Look, we're not necessarily here to kill you. Unless, of course, you were here to kill us or disappear us, then we might be persuaded to act more rashly.
You have to understand why we would be kind of freaked out if you jumped off the roof of my place and started sprinting into traffic.
Yeah, sure.
Come on.
I'm sure this is all a big misunderstanding. Let's go get this ape off of me, huh? All right, and then we'll go.
Well,
I don't know if we can trust him to be without a monkey on his back.
you promise to explain what's going on if we get the monkey off your back, yeah?
Yeah, get this ape off of me, and we'll go.
Perception empathy.
Yeah, sure.
Empathy.
My affinity is sensing motive, so let's hope I get some 10s. That's just one success. Ugh.
One success. You look this guy in the eyes, and there's something wrong with him. This guy is looking at you with a sort of animalistic intensity. There's like a weird yellowed tint to his glare. You don't know if you could trust this guy to play straight with you.
Sorry. I think you're lying. Bill, Samson, can you, grab his arms or something?
Of course, of course.
You freaks. I'll fucking kill you. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's coming!
Oh my god, shut up.
Presumably, you guys are able to drag him to behind the strip mall. The crowd says, "Wow, that's great! I really believe that guy he's good. I like
Thank
the-
you! Thank you!
Where did you get the money? Where did you get the money?" You guys get him back behind the strip mall. It's the place where there's a couple of lawn chairs, just people out on smoke break. Are you guys just gonna throw him in one of those?
Yep.
All right, he just lands down.
You freaks. You freaks!
Hey. That's 1, rude. 2, why don't you just explain to us what's going on here and maybe we can try to clear our names, alright? Let's just calm down. And I'm gonna use a mind effect to just gently try to soothe him.
Unfortunately, you are RT1.
That is true. I
So
can't,
you have no such power here.
I can't affect people, you're right.
Yeah, you have.
I got a question, Speaker.
I got an answer.
So at RT1 for life, what can I do with that?
You could sense someone's health and well-being. You can get an idea of what a certain life material is made of. If someone is sick, you might have extra insights into what exactly is happening to them.
I would like to try and do an Arate 1 life on this fella by way of, let me think, what am I going to use here?
If you're struggling, you can always take a look at your instruments and let me know.
No, I'm looking at my focuses and my instruments right now. It's just trying to figure out which one I could feasibly do right now, because I'm not going to do alchemy, because I don't have that shit on me. I'm going to press my basketball against his fucking forehead.
Go ahead and roll me Arate, and I'll let you know how we can play this out. You're at difficulty 5. You could spend Quintessence.
I will use one.
Difficulty 3.
6.
That's fantastic. So with your 2 successes, you get a look at this guy, and, well, you don't know exactly what's going on. Again, your means of channeling are imprecise. You've had to deal with your own injuries on the basketball court. You've had to deal with people who you know getting fucked up, and you can tell there's something weird going on with this guy. I will allow you, given your 2 successes, to make me a difficulty 4 int medicine or perception medicine.
Oh, all right. Son of a bitch.
You take a look at him. You notice that there's this strange blue discoloration around his hands, but outside of that, you just know something unnatural is happening. Immediately, the idea flashes in your mind, this might be some of that supernatural nonsense Marvolo was talking about.
Can I take a stab at this too?
I will allow you an int esoterica because you are into weird shit.
Let's see. Let's go fishing. Hey! That's not too bad.
4 successes. Oh, something hits you, man.
Wait a second. You, I think I might know you.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, we had a caller not too long ago. Damn shame what happened to her. And you wouldn't happen to have gone swimming in the Chesapeake and come out a changed man, would you? Friends, I think in our midst we have the Chesapeake Bay Fishman.
What?
Yeah, we had a caller come in. Said her partner went swimming and was never the same after that. Reporting all sorts of strange changes of habits, and eventually she stopped calling and, well, she...
I'm here! I'm ready! I'm ready!
And you look as his arms are gripping onto the back of this lawn chair, and he's shaking with this sort of intensity that you haven't seen before. And then all of a sudden his eyes roll back into his head.
You are the one. You are the one.
The fuck is this shit?
Parker is the one.
And then all of a sudden, this guy's head explodes.
God damn!
Christ, what the fuck?
Hold on. What is left of his head?
You see his trachea poking out of the stump of his neck. Bits of gray matter and face now litter the back of this strip.
Without flinching, Sybil is going to walk up to the stump of his neck, and I'm gonna start kind of rifling around in it and see if I can spot anything.
What?
Kind of reaching in with like 2 fingers, kind of start poking and prodding in there.
That's great.
Sybil, what the fuck are you doing?
Listen.
Sybil, I'm not one to judge, but what the fuck?
Hold on. We gotta figure out what's wrong with this dude, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to tell. His fucking head blew up. It's pretty fucking wrong.
Well, okay.
What we gotta do
yes.
is we gotta fucking bounce. Stop taking your fucking fingers down his throat.
Somebody call Parker if he's in danger. I am going to figure out what the fuck is wrong with this guy. Listen, we've all got guts. We've all got viscera. It's fine. I'm going to see if I see anything off.
You are fucked in the head.
All right, Samson, Bill, go ahead and roll me willpower real quick to avoid lurching. as Sybil just plunges her fucking her fingers down the throat of someone that was alive literally 3 seconds ago, and just gore splattered everywhere.
It is the total willpower.
Yeah, just total willpower.
Oh man, that's a lot of
Oh,
botches.
willful fellow. Despite the abject disgust, Samson, you're fine. You've seen people get like fucking fucked up in sports and like the meat of their legs pouring out onto the court.
I go to Live Leak.
Yeah. Bill, despite your greater like experience with watching gore and other sorts of weird shit, it's another thing entirely to see someone just start pedaling through it. You're able to hold down a vomit, and otherwise you're able to act normally. Sybil, you're a freak. I'm not gonna make you roll this.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't have a merit for being a freak, but...
Yeah, just do get it for free. It's from being a freak.
Thank you. All right. Do I see anything?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me perception medicine.
Why do I have dots in cosmology, but not medicine?
I feel like this is a normal thing for someone who lives on the internet. Just like, I don't know how to make spaghetti, but I know how the basics of a deep sea submersible work.
Can't help being a Gemini.
Can't help it.
True. Good thing. One success.
One success is enough to realize that you are going through the throat of a recently exploded man.
Oh.
Samson's leaving. He's out.
Looks like he, despite all the weirdness, was just a guy. I don't see anything wrong or anything supernatural poking out of him.
Great. I mean, I'm glad he was just a guy, but I think he definitely was like a fish man. He did mention before, rather the voice mentioned that we weren't the one, but Parker was. Parker's back at the shop.
Yeah, we should wash off and... Samson, do you have Parker's number?
Samson has walked off.
Samson! Ah, shit.
Samson's walking back to the antique shop now.
As this happens, you guys notice a door close by start to open.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on my break. I'll be back in 15.
What?
I'm gonna duck, quickly run behind the building.
Monkey and I as well are going to.
The monkey.
Dex stealth for you two.
Oh, that's very good. I have cloaking.
Then add your
Oh my
cloaking.
God.
Cloaking.
Hell yeah.
And I've got a good dex stealth because I am weird. That's 2 successes.
You're able to dodge out of the way, it seems. You're turning the corner. Of course, you're still covered in blood. But you are able to hear just very quickly.
Holy shit!
And the door slam. You guys are currently covered in gore, including you, Samson.
I'm gonna look up and see if a security camera has seen us.
No, this is not that nice of a strip area.
Okay. I'm just going to strip off everything that is obviously bloody and just try to wipe my hands off as best I can.
All right. So you're able to kind of get yourself a little cleaned up. You know, your hands are still kind of stained a little red. You got the worst of it.
So, given the other person has just run back into their building and is presumably calling the police, Bill, if he's not super gory, will probably follow suit with Sybil, but before he does, he's going to try and get over to the body as fast as he can and instruct the monkey.
Okay, we haven't really practiced for this, but I want you to try out the little Nicky maneuver.
And
What?
that in Bill's code is going to be to take whatever's in his pockets.
Oh yeah, the monkey will happily go rummaging through the dead guy's pockets.
But I'm gonna have him up like on Bill's back,
Yeah.
just so he doesn't like leave footprints or whatever, because they're not gonna think to ID monkey fur.
Okay, that's funny. I'll allow that with no roll because I'm just so kind and nice.
You are.
I'm just gonna let you go through his pockets. You grab his wallet, you grab his keys, and you still have his denim jacket. I should remind you.
Okay. So after pilfering those goods, Bill is going to go back into hiding, strip off what he had. Might just toss on the ill-fitting denim jacket, cover up his like upper torso, but otherwise is going to go try and ascertain the location of the
Okay, makes sense. I'm gonna need Dex stealth from everybody. Sybil,
Great.
yours is gonna be difficulty 7.
Yeah.
Bill, yours difficulty 6. Samson, yours is difficulty 5.
Oh boy.
Oh, 1 success. Or no, that's no successes if it's difficulty 7. I should have put a willpower behind it.
Same.
2.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
You guys are
Oh,
walking
no.
towards the mouse pad, and you think that you've gotten past without being spotted. who knows? There were plenty of cars on the street, many people walking about with different stories and agendas all their own. Fortunately, you were not stopped. You were able to make it to the mouse pad. Bill, your RV is still in the back. Sybil, the mouse pad is the mouse pad. You probably have a change of clothes inside if you need it.
Shit. Oh my god, if they think we killed that guy, I'm gonna shit myself. Jesus.
I don't know what to make of this. I didn't think he was just gonna explode. How do we get rid of all this? They're gonna find bloodied clothes somewhere. We gotta really get rid of these fucking things. Do you have an incinerator?
Would there be an incinerator?
No!
I mean, I've probably got like a fucking kiln.
You probably do have access to a kiln. I don't know if it would be here.
Shit. We might be able to burn it out back, but it would be really conspicuous.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's like rule number 1. You don't burn stuff in plain sight.
Right. So I think that our best bet is probably to get whatever shit we can, get back in the car, and go to Marvolo's apartment that he's handing over to us, and just lie low as best we can. Hopefully they've got some kind of magic bullshit that turns the cops away.
Hold on. There's no telling whether or not somebody might be still lurking around here. I don't know about that guy because he's fucking dead. But there might be somebody else skulking about. Let's, before we go in, try and scope out if anyone's, I don't know, hiding in the wings. Or maybe they set up inside the RV or...
Okay.
Just be careful. Be real careful. Be real quiet, okay?
All right, you check the RV. I'll check inside. Samson? Oh god, where'd he go?
Samson, you make your way back to our good friend Parker's abode. Parker, you've had a good hour and a half to get your shit all together. How packed are you?
There were a few other things that I wanted to do before I start packing.
Of course.
I'll be brief. While they were off on their adventure, the first thing that Parker did was he went down to inspect the crater that was left by the disappearance of... You know, it kind of is depressing to think that that was the only part of his collection besides arguably the clock, and it's already gone. This collection's off to a bad start, but he's going to inspect the crater that is left.
How are you inspecting it, and what are you hoping to find?
First, the two things that he wants to inspect physically is the edge, looking to see if there was any sort of machining, unlikely, how deep it goes, and if there is any evidence, any clue, anything off about this crater that might offer any sort of clue as to how this happened. If perhaps it ripped itself out, or if it simply vanished.
That's actually a fucking fantastic question. The first thing I'm going to ask is, do you have access to the matter sphere? Because that could be quite useful here.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead then and add your arete to a perception investigation.
So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Excellent.
That is a nice looking roll.
You look deep into this crater. It feels like this indentation is about as unnatural as the process by which you petrified Cyrus Carling. It doesn't feel like it was made with intelligent purpose. It feels more like substantial parts of your floor are now missing. The crater, it looks like a pothole, but that's really just because it holds the exact outline of the places in which Cyrus was originally frozen. And as you look deep at the earth, a voice calls to you.
You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?
The clock speaks in the voice of your avatar.
Parker stands up and looks. Do you know what happened?
I do not. But if I did, I would not say, for it is your collection that is now in disarray. What shall you do?
And he brings it back down in front of the clock. He gets down, he folds his legs, places the pistol in front of him, and focuses intently. I have a suspicion. This pistol, assuming that he is the one who made it, perhaps there is the scent of his power on it, and perhaps I can sniff him out like a bloodhound.
Yes. Yes. You learn and adapt, as all collectors should. Such things are most certainly possible.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me an Arate at difficulty 5?
Okay, let's see. Yes. So, 8.
You focus on the object and you close your eyes. And as you do, there's this feeling of the old world. Amber light on the halls of an old castle at night. The bars of a prison cell. Refinement buried under ages. Then you look back towards the mound where your statue once sat, and you can see this silver light descending from above. The feeling of bars encasing the area and then vanishing. You get the sense that somehow Cyrus's magic, the magic that commands this device, came into play here.
Not the device itself, but the same magic.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you had more experience, I would reveal more. But since this is your first time using the auras, you don't have enough experience for me to extrapolate more on what that means. But perhaps as you continue to understand your own sight and ability, I will reveal more things about what you see here.
Right. So, Parker looks up at this clock, speaking again to his avatar. I've learned some, but I need to know more. I am taking the clock with me, assuming that you are separate from it.
I am. I need not use it. I merely choose to.
It suits you. We are going to a place with knowledge, I believe. There are ways for me to learn more. Learn how to learn.
Allow me to direct your sight again to the empty mound in your collection. Look closely, for your magic should be present.
And I would like to ask you, Parker, what does your magic look like through the same lens?
My magic looks like tendrils, a deep green and purple. Green for its envy, and purple for its adoration of austerity. Pawing, seeking, searching, not even necessarily knowing what for. A natural movement, an instinctual movement. Something that can't be helped. It's hungry. It's hungry to know and to have.
And so as you look again at the mound, you notice, fractured like a broken statue, traces of these tendrils lingering half unseen in the shadow of your eyes. And I'd like you to go ahead and make me a perception esoterica roll.
7.
Fantastic, yeah.
I am rolling exceptionally today.
With that many successes, we get a sense that perhaps brings some light into your step. Intuitively, you grasp the magic that you cast has not yet faded. The spell is not yet broken. And while it is weakening, wherever in the world Cyrus Carling is, for now, is still stone.
You're still mine.
At that time, hear the jingling of the bell as a new customer enters.
Parker immediately, poker face, runs up the stairs and, I assume, finds a familiar friend.
Yeah, you see Samson and he's barely got any blood on him at all.
I
mean, listen, the only thing Dasani's good for is washing yourself.
So Parker looks at him and says, "Dear God, man, what happened?"
Right, yeah. Hey, on that one. Let's go somewhere where there ain't no crying ears. We're going to the basement.
Okay. Yeah, and they go down. Given the concern in Samson's voice, Parker will walk over to pick up the pistol. However, he will make very certain to leave it pointing at the ground so as not to alert Samson.
All right, simple thing. We were heading back to their place. We spotted a guy watching us. We chased him. We caught him. His head blew up after he spoke at us and mentioned your name specifically.
I was enjoying the story up until that last part.
You enjoyed the head exploding part?
I mean, I don't know. It's interesting.
Were you there? It wasn't like a cartoon poof. No. What do you think this is? And he's going to gesture to the blood that is still on his hoodie and his other gear.
Do we need to get you washed up? Did anyone follow you?
I'll deal with that in a minute. First and foremost, do you happen to have like a deep voice motherfucker asking about you?
None that are unexpected?
Unexpected?
No. In short, no.
Okay, that's the answer I'm looking for. So, he was camped out, I guess, on the roof of Sybil's pad. It's a place called the Mouse Pad or whatever the shit. We saw him leap off the roof and then start sprinting around. Bastard sprinted through 4 lanes of traffic. We caught up to him after some nonsense. Bill threw the fucking monkey. And we were questioning him, we were interrogating him, and suddenly he rears back and those two stuck around because, Jesus Christ. The Sybil fucking freaklet she is. She stuck her fingers down the man's blown up throat. I don't know what she was trying to learn by doing that, but I stepped out because, head pop, corpse sitting there, fingers down throat. No. I'm not privy to that.
No, I don't blame you. That does leave a small issue. We have an hour and a half before we meet with Marvolo or his associates again. This person was searching for me, correct?
Before his head popped like a fucking Gallagher watermelon, it was... You are not the one. You said it to all 3 of us. You are not the one. You are not the one. Parker, you are the one. Unless there's some other fucker named Parker that I'm not aware of.
Right, I mean, given the synchronicities happening today, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he was probably referring to me. The good news is that if something is hunting for me, then they clearly do not know where I am at this moment.
Sybil and Bill, you're able to get yourself cleaned up and barely any juggalos notice. You are wearing new clothes, fresh clothes at the very least. Bill, I assume you also freshen up in the RV. Are you guys going to be taking Bill's RV to Parker's? What's your intention?
Ooh, the RV is pretty conspicuous. I mean, has Marvolo's car left?
Yeah, Marvolo dropped you off and left.
thought the expectation is that we're going to get back into the car, and Marvolo said he would do something about the
Okay,
RV.
so you guys are chilling out by the mouse pad?
I'm just saying, somebody saw a headless body surrounded by gore where you are considering staying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I guess our best bet is to hop in the RV and get out of here. I don't know if there's any sort of timely way we could get rid of the things on the side of his car. I don't think it's a big sticker.
No, there's not really a timely way, but if he was able to drive it here, I mean, how bad could it be?
You think those technocrat guys are gonna chase us all the way back to Parker's?
Depends on if they get a beat on the RV, but I suppose our options are few and far between.
Whew. If we're trying to get out of here before the cops come, we should just skedaddle.
So, what are you guys doing?
Alright, Sybil is gonna gather up just her computer, just the monitor in the tower, and is going to quickly shuffle it into Bill's RV, and then I believe that's our best option for getting out of here.
Alright, so you head on off. As you do, you are able to, like, as you're kind of turning on to your way to get to the antique store, you're actually able to see the street where that dead body was. You notice something. There are no cop cars.
Interesting.
Huh.
Samson and Parker, hi.
Yes, hello.
What's that?
What you doing?
We might need to move. Assuming that we all ascended at approximately the same time, and they are looking for me among the 4 of us who ascended, and they have already checked one of the spaces. Remember what Marvolo said, when someone ascends, it's like leaving smoke. People can see it, and they could be coming here next. Was this person violent to anyone else?
He sure was a fucking ornery little shit. Again, that could just be Norfolk, but the guy had some, marks on his hands. I couldn't figure out what the hell it was about before his head popped. But he was cussing and spitting. He was mad as hell.
He could recognize that I was none of you.
Well, the voice, what came out of his throat, definitely recognized none of us as you. He didn't say much prior to getting his head blown up.
If you 3 were able to handle him, then I doubt that anything that comes after me will be much of a match for Marvolo, given what he's been able to do. We just need... I don't want to leave my parents here. We need to get them out, now.
It seems to me that we can't exactly just go ahead and fuck off then. It seems like we gotta wait here.
No, we leave and we come back in an hour and a half.
The door opens. The top floor.
Parker is going to run over to the wall and place his back against it, and he's going to motion with his head to go and check. Oh, and by the way, Parker is absolutely holding the pistol, up next to his head, this ridiculous-looking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like he is a goddamn special agent.
Samson's gonna tromp up the stairs.
Samson, you walk out. There's a strange individual there. They look like a somewhat bulky woman. They have a messenger bag, this big beige coat, have a scarf over their nose, almost like a bandana, brown messenger hat.
A flat cap.
Yes, flag cap, that's the name. And so she looks up and looks over at you, Samson.
Hi, are you Mr. Knickerbocker?
Nah, sorry, he stepped out for a little bit.
That's fine.
I can try to help you. I work here. What do you need?
I just have a message for him.
Reaches into the messenger bag and pulls out a small wrapped package.
Can you make sure this gets to him?
Sure.
Great. That's all I've got. You have a good day.
Yeah, you take care.
She turns and leaves.
Come back down.
Want me to bring this too, or are we just leaving this here?
I want to try something. I would like to see if I can sense any magic on it. I am going to try to sense prime magic on it.
Can I also do that, by the way?
Sure. How would you like to reach out and examine it?
Well, seeing as how I got my hands on it, I'm going to perform a number of fingerprint-like patterns across the top of it to see if he can parse out any effect that's underneath it. I'm doing bodywork.
So essentially, Parker is like looking in with his third eye. You're just kind of looking to see if you can tell anything, like if there's any obvious fingerprints, anything like that, any markings that could indicate where it came from. What sphere are you looking for specifically?
I'm also going to do prime.
I double prime. Go show me the Arete, baby.
All right.
Dice. 3.
Samson, you fail. Parker, you don't. But you both see the same thing. Very little. It doesn't seem like whatever this is enchanted.
So can Parker tell when he fails, by the way?
Yes. It'll
Okay.
be more obvious.
He can tell if he's just not.
Yeah,
up to
you'll
snuff
be
at
able to
the
tell
moment.
because you're able to look at Samson and you see that there's this inherent red glow coming from him. And while Samson can, of course, describe his own magic, what is unmistakable is the presence of just these crimson fingers behind him.
You right there? You're staring at me.
Can I tell if this is normal or not?
No.
This could just be his magic. I'll go and take the envelope from him. Wait upstairs.
You sure about that?
Just for a moment.
Alright, on down the stairs, up the stairs. What the fuck?
I'm going to return to the clock. Could you see his aura as well?
The clock does not respond.
Can you hear me?
You get the sense that the avatar is more willing to speak to you on its time, not yours.
Well, let's not annoy him just yet. I'll go ahead and open the manila envelope.
Inside the manila envelope slides out a single piece of paper. It just says, Parker. Meet us at the Smiling Bag. We'll be waiting. We have much in common. There is no signature.
Do I know where this location is?
Yes, you do. There's a... There's a giant bomb explodes and you'll die.
Wow.
Now, I decided.
Wow.
Oh my god, it was a
Killed us
Yeah,
all?
sorry. World War III.
It was a
happened.
nuclear bomb.
I forgot to
Damn.
mention it.
And we all get isekai'd into Dungeons and Dragons.
I declare Parker Knickerbocker dead. Get out of here, Fredrik. You don't exist anymore.
Did I fuck it up?
No,
that badly?
you're lovely. No! But I do actually think that now might be a good time to end. So yeah, I think we'll call it here. Not quite where I expected we'd wind up, but I hope we had a great time regardless.
Did you expect to be sooner or later?
No, I expected you guys not to wind up catching the guy on the roof. And I expected we would focus on where you guys were going, but you guys did find him, and that's funny. So here we go.
Good.
Exactly.
All right, should we stop
Excellent.
recording?
You can keep recording if you want to.
Okay,
just
we'll keep recording.
keep chatting because I know Alpha likes it.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
We're shitting around.
Oh, yeah.
obviously, so we're gonna say some funny things like, "Ha, Alfabusa is Swedish. Play the 103 Streetsboard and audio play."
You.
Oh.
Phil.
Okay.
Hello, this is Alfabusa here to tell you that at this point, Odoroshi and HulkyKrow stopped recording, so there was no funny outro talk. Instead, we are going to rewind to a point during the Marvolo lore info dump, and we'll see what they said about that in the middle of
The convention. Yeah. But the words. I can't speak. I feel so bad.
I like
by
to
the way.
imagine Marvolo just having a little breakdown.
Yeah.
No, that's only what you're seeing in an alternate reality when he actually chokes.
Yeah. I hope this info dump. Oh my god, this info dump has gone on for a fucking hour. Jesus Christ.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I am loving this, and also it's getting really good interaction with all the characters. So like,
Okay. Yeah. It's not too boring.
I think, like,
No.
oh, are you fucking kidding me? I don't know about viewers, but as a player, I'm fucking loving this.
Lore dumps. It's
kidding me?
useful
No,
and serves a purpose.
Okay. Excellent.
I think like it also serves as a chance for like for my character to, like, personally for Parker, it is giving him ideas of what he needs to do next.
Mm-hmm.
The longer this goes on, the more like Parker is getting antsy because he's like, oh god, who's that dude I just turned to concrete? And what is that gun? Right? Like,
Yeah.
and also he started like I know that I'm speaking my character's thoughts out loud. I hope that
No, you're fine.
Please cut this out. Please cut
Oh
this
yeah,
out.
no, this is gonna get cut out. Don't worry.
Yeah. But like Parker's also thinking, oh shit, I might have been looking at this grandfather clock in the wrong way,
Yeah.
right? Like I was looking for a spirit. Oh shit.
Yeah, no, I'm very much about this. I think this is serving a good a plot point to give our characters the ammunition they need to choose a sort of path or start exploring that.
Exactly.
But also introduce like so many people who just don't know about the wider part of WoD outside of HTTP.
I mean, speaking as a player, I feel like this is giving me like much more concrete, immediate, and long-term goals. So
Okay, that's awesome. That's great then. I was just worried that it was just like now allow me to pontificate for an hour straight in the least interesting way, trying to go through everyone quickly. Okay, great.
you're
Fantastic.
good.
All right. Well, we're all-
Ryan, you know what I do for a living.
I know. All right, let's get back on track. All right.